Leading U.S. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden has defended himself after coming under so-called friendly fire from his own party. They claim he's been too sympathetic towards racial segregation in the past.
It's so easy to go back 30, 40, 50 years and take a context and take it completely out of context. And I mean, you know, I get all this information about other people's past and what they've done and not done. And, you know, I'm just not going to go there. If we keep doing that, that's, I mean, what we should be debating what we do from here.
The issue of racial segregation was raised late in June during the first Democratic Party debate ahead of the 2020 presidential election. But next this morning, as Caleb Mopin explains, throughout American history, the Democrats haven't always been so pro-integration.
Joe Biden, the current frontrunner in the Democratic presidential race, has come forward to apologize about statements he made about working with advocates of racial segregation.
I regret it, and I'm sorry for any of the pain or misconception they may have caused anybody.
Earlier, Joe Biden made statements about his previous work with segregationists. He was almost nostalgic, saying he got things done with some civility. Now, his apology comes as his rivals have been taking him to task over his record.
I don't think you have to be touting personal relations with people who were very brutal segregationists.
It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country.
Now, Joe Biden is still in the lead despite the scandal. However, it seems to have unearthed a strange reality in American politics. The Democratic Party, the party that brought us the first African-American president, has a rather strange record when it comes to the issue of racism. When Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia died, Barack Obama gave him a stirring eulogy.
He was a Senate icon, he was a party leader, he was an elder statesman. And he was my friend. That's how I'll remember him.
Prior to becoming a U.S. Senator, Robert Byrd had been a high-ranking member of the Ku Klux Klan. Afterwards, he repudiated the views of the hate group. But prior to that, he had some strong views when it came to the issue of race.
I shall never fight in the armed forces with a Negro by my side. Rather, I should die 1,000 times and see Old Glory trampled in the dirt never to rise again, than to see this beloved land of ours become degraded by race mongrels, a throwback to the blackest specimen from the wilds.
Bill Clinton, who was wildly popular among African Americans, gave a eulogy when he was president for J. William Fulbright, another Democrat.
We come to celebrate and give thanks for the remarkable life of J. William Fulbright, a life that changed our country and our world forever, and for the better.
Well, the glowing words left out the fact that Fulbright was a big advocate of keeping black and white children in separate schools. Back in the 1960s, when John F. Kennedy and the Northern Democratic Party organizations located in urban areas were pushing for racial integration, the biggest pushback didn't come from Republicans. It came from the Dixiecrats, a splinter group within their own party. In 1968, George Wallace, the Democratic governor of Alabama, was so outraged to see anti-racism become the dominant view within his own party that he ran as a third-party candidate.
Then you ought to come on down to Alabama and we'll teach you some law down there, because y'all don't know some of it in Harvard.
But now, it would seem that a Democrat having such an agenda would be almost unbelievable. In fact, MSNBC mislabeled George Wallace as a Republican. Check it out.
Governor George Wallace stood outside the University of Alabama, personally blocking 2 black students from enrolling there.
I stand here today as governor of this sovereign state and refuse to willingly submit to illegal usurpation.
Sure, Joe Biden has come forward and apologized for his statements on racial matters, but it seems like the country has forgotten that not so long ago his entire party had the same issue.
After the Civil War, it was the Democratic Party that was the racist. It was the Republican Party that was different. The Republicans were anti-slavery. Lincoln was Republican, anti-slavery. It changed. The Dixiecrats, after segregation, after the Civil War, they were the racists. Everything was a mess. We've had presidents, Supreme Court justices who were members of the Klan. Some of them had to do that, to join the Ku Klux Klan for political reasons. I don't understand. Why this now with Biden?